exciting results, incredible results, because the patency in the AVG port was 100%. It's so difficult to see this performance in other trials, in other devices. We take a look in the Revisor trial, in the FLAIR trial, the target lesion primary patency rate at 6 months was something around 50%, 53%, and of course 100% during 60 months in 20 patients. It's incredible and so exciting results. And talking about the AVF cohort, most of the patients had cephalic artery stenosis in both cohorts, in the AVF cohort, in the Solaris AVF cohort, in the PT cohort, in the control group. And we found a so interesting improvements in considering the patency in the drug-eluting covered stent group, 91% of patency in the Solaris drug-eluting group versus something around 60% in the PT group.
I think the field of dialysis access circuit maintenance, it has improved dramatically over the recent years, but there's still room to move. As I mentioned, this is a device that's being used, not the drug-eluting, but the SX platform worldwide. I think one of the things that Leo mentioned was about this impermeability of the device, which is really different than the ones that have gone before it. And I think that is going to be make a big difference in terms of the potential for device failure in the periphery or in the iliac and other non-coronary arteries. In its worldwide usage, apparently dialysis, although it's important, is not the only indication. And in fact, many practitioners, hospitals in different countries are using it as branch grafts for complex aortic work, and also in the iliac arteries, where we also have a need for covered stents. And recently there's been an abstract from a group in Europe, which was quite excellent, 89 patients with 95+% one-year patency for the Solaris SX platform in the iliac artery. I also think that it's relatively unusual for a device to be used so broadly around the world, and yet we don't have access to it in the United States. So I'm very excited about the prospect of an IDE trial in the US, a comparative trial that includes Solaris for stenoses in dialysis access, both AV fistula and AV graft, and that'll have a comparator arm with PTA. I think the potential then to have this platform be available and be broadly indicated in the US is quite high after, as this work is being done. And I think that'll be a very nice setup for the drug-eluting platform. There's been a lot of talk and a lot of usage of covered stents in various applications over the years, but we've never had a drug-eluting platform that directly addressed the issue of edge restenosis, and which is where most of these types of devices fail when they fail. So we're really excited about that.
The reason for this, the objective for this is to try to avoid the main problem in the covered stents in dialysis access, that is the edge stenosis. The edge stenosis is responsible for more than 90% of the problems in vascular access in the recurrence of these patients, mainly in the outflow part of the circuit.
The field of dialysis access circuit maintenance, it has improved dramatically over the recent years, but there's still room to move. And in the further future, this is where this concept that Leo's talking about, with the potential to use sirolimus on the ends of a covered stent. And of course, the failure is at we call it edge restenosis, but the truth is that you can have a perfect implant, but the area just juxtaposed to the ends of the implant are still at risk. And this is where the DE platform, the drug-eluting platform, will have, I think, a big impact. It'll be a one of a kind.
We started this this study in August 2024. The first patient that we included in the trial was a patient with a venous graft anastomosis stenosis, yeah. And now in the end of the year, I think that we have something around 20 patients, and our projection for these 12-month results are exciting, of course. And of course, our expectation for the next 6 months with the patients that will complete the 12-month follow-up we have a high expectation about the patency, yeah, exciting expectation. And I think that it's possible to maintain this high target lesion primary patency and high access circuit primary patency during the 12-month and maybe 24-month follow-up.
This is a growing, I would say, program, if you will, in terms of, not just in terms of number of countries where people are using it, but also in terms of the different applications where a non-permeable covered stent could really be the answer to the clinical problem that the practitioner is facing.